Hello and welcome back to Outside Views. Today we're diving into one of the biggest post-Brexit failures, and that's Britain's missed migration targets. I mentioned it in several videos this week, but now we make a special one. Because for years British leaders promised that Brexit would give the country full control over its borders and allow them to reduce immigration. But yet, 5 years after officially leaving the EU, the numbers tell a very different story. In the 12 months leading up to mid-2023, net migration to the UK reached a record-breaking 906,000 people. And this was already a staggering figure, but it was later revised upwards 22% from initial estimates. And even after a slight decline in 2024, net migration still stood at 728,000, far above pre-Brexit levels. And this is a stark contrast to the promises made by multiple Conservative governments. David Cameron, Theresa May and Boris Johnson all pledged to reduce migration to tens of thousands per year. And they never even came close. And now, under Labour's Keir Starmer, migration remains at record highs, despite his own strong criticism of previous policies. So, how did they get there? Well, to understand, we need to look at Britain's post-Brexit immigration system. After leaving the EU, the UK replaced freedom of movement with a points-based visa system. The idea was to attract skilled workers while limiting overall numbers. But instead of reducing migration, the new system has fueled an even greater influx of people. While fewer EU workers are coming to Britain, far more people are arriving from outside the EU. In fact, in the 12 months leading up to June 2024, 86% of new arrivals came from non-EU countries. India, Nigeria, Pakistan, China and Zimbabwe are now the top sources of migration. Why? Because despite all the political rhetoric about controlling borders, Britain still needs foreign workers. And lots of them. Sectors like healthcare, social care and agriculture rely heavily on migrant labor. In 2023, nearly 40% of all new arrivals came for work-related reasons. The NHS, for example, now depends on workers from India and the Philippines to fill massive staffing gaps that are caused by Brexit. Without these workers, hospitals and care homes would be in even worse crises than they already are. Another major factor is education. International students make up a significant portion of Britain's migration numbers. In 2023, 36% of all new migrants were students coming to study at UK universities. This is crucial because foreign students are a key source of funding for British universities. But it also inflates migration figures, fueling public discontent. Despite these realities, politicians continue to push for lower numbers. The Conservative government under Rishi Sunak introduced new restrictions before leaving office. And these included raising salary thresholds for work visas and limiting family reunification for students and care workers. Labour's Keir Starmer has promised further reforms, but he faces a difficult balancing act here. And public opinion on immigration is complex. On the one hand, it is now one of the top concerns among British voters, often ranking alongside economic issues and NHS funding. On the other, when asked about specific professions, most Britons actually support more immigration for doctors, nurses, engineers and care workers. Yet they also want fewer international students and bankers moving to the UK. Another key issue is the perception of asylum seekers. Despite making up only 8% of total arrivals in 2023, the public consistently overestimates the number of asylum seekers. A survey by British Future found that the average Briton believes 37% of migrants are asylum seekers, more than 4 times the actual number. The reality is that Brexit has not given Britain full control over its borders. Instead, migration has reached record highs and public frustration continues to grow. And politicians are now stuck in a dilemma. The UK needs migrants to sustain its economy, yet the political pressure to reduce numbers is stronger than ever. So what happens next? Keir Starmer's government has promised a new migration strategy, but there are no easy solutions. Tighter controls could hurt economic growth and worsen the NHS staffing crisis. Looser policies would anger voters who already feel betrayed by broken Brexit promises. But one thing is certain, the UK's immigration debate is far from over. Despite all the political rhetoric, the numbers continue to rise, and Brexit, rather than solving the issue, has made it even more complicated. So thank you for watching Outside Views, and if you found this video insightful, don't forget to like, subscribe and share your thoughts in the comments below the video. See you next time, and the next video is already right here in the end screen.